Good evening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me here this Thursday. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just announced that the $1.75 trillion spending package would greatly help fight inflation and lower costs for Americans. Some Americans will be receiving a $600 payment, but only if they meet certain requirements. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Friends, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack announced that $700 million in competitive grant funding will be available through the new Farm and Food Workers Relief Grant Program to help all farm workers and meat packing workers with crisis-related health and safety costs. This announcement was to recognize the essential role and cost borne by frontline grocery workers. $20 million of this amount has been set aside for at least one pilot program to support grocery workers and test options for reaching them in the future. The new program is funded by the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021 and is part of the USDA's Build Back Better efforts to respond and recover from this crisis. The program will provide relief to farm workers, meatpacking workers, and frontline grocery workers for expenses incurred due to the crisis. This relief is intended to defray costs for reasonable and necessary personal, family, or living expenses related to this crisis. Also, this aligns with the administration's efforts to revitalize the economy. There are many U.S. states that are also sending out checks to their own residents. If you are a resident of New Hampshire, you may qualify for a $1,086 check if your household includes a family of 3 without any income. In addition to that, in the state of Arizona, out-of-work residents can take advantage of the state's back-to-work program. Those who go back to work part-time are eligible for $1,000. Those returning to work full-time will receive $2,000.
A lot going on here. I will warn you, we have some charts to begin our briefing today. Settle in, everyone. Just to give you all an update and really give the American people an update on where we are on our work on economic recovery, where we're seeing progress, and wanted to, of course, show you some visuals as evidence of that. So let me start. Today's unemployment claims data are another welcome sign of our economy's strength as Americans get back to work. As of this morning, we've had 7 consecutive weeks of decline in new unemployment claims. And to translate that into English for people listening or watching at home, unemployment claims are basically every week Americans who who lose their jobs, not at their own fault, they go and they file a claim looking for unemployment insurance. So the drop in these unemployment claims, there's actually a different chart on this, I don't know if they can pull it up, but that we've seen consecutively over the last several weeks and months is a good sign. No, the other chart would be good. Okay, great. So you can see here just the dramatic drop we've.
California implemented the Golden State stimulus to its residents, but were required to have filed their 2020 tax return by October 15th. About half of the 9 million California residents received their checks as of October 31st, and the remaining checks are being sent via mail. Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont announced the Back to Work program for $1,000 in stimulus checks. The requirements are a little bit more involved in other states, with specifics on when residents filed for unemployment and how long they were unemployed. Residents are also required to have obtained a job in order to be eligible for the stimulus payment. In the state of Florida, principals and teachers will receive $1,000 in stimulus cash for their commitment to educating during the crisis. And those who are living in the state of Idaho could be eligible for a one-time income tax rebate. More than 500,000 Idaho residents received cash. The average check was worth $248. If you agree with me that all Americans should receive a fourth stimulus check, please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Right now, Democrats are refocusing their message on President Joe Biden's Build Back Better bill in response to inflation concerns from voters and key centrist lawmakers, as Congress moves closer to final votes on the massive spending package, the White House and Democratic leaders have rebranded the legislation as an antidote to widespread price hikes, arguing that it would lower the cost of prescriptions, childcare, and overall expenses related to raising families. The measure calls for spending $1.75 trillion over a decade on a variety of Democratic priorities, from healthcare subsidies to clean energy. It would also give the government the power to negotiate prices for certain medicines, subsidize childcare, and extend cash payments for most parents with children under the age of 18. Democrats also aim to cover the cost of the social safety net package through taxes on corporations and more money for the Internal Revenue Service enforcement. They also insist that the legislation would be fully paid for, ahead of a Congressional Budget Office analysis, which is expected this week. But there are some Democratic moderates that say they are more worried that the increased costs would hit numerous sectors of the economy. Senator Joe Manchin, who has been sounding alarm about inflation for months now, declined to say whether the legislation addresses his concerns. Consumer prices jumped nearly 6.5% last month, the largest inflation surge in more than 30 years. Overall, millions of Americans blame President Biden for these rising costs. Republicans are seeking to create political pain for Democrats over inflation and many other economic concerns. They continue to argue that the legislation would worsen inflation, citing climate policies that they say would raise fossil fuel energy costs. Friends, the key word for this video is comforter. If you would like to enter tomorrow's $100 Walmart gift card giveaway, please make sure you click and like my videos, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, and comment below the key word from each video. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me here this Thursday evening. I truly appreciate all of you who are watching my videos. Thank you so much, friends, and have a very blessed